All right, well, today I'm going to talk about selling online, mainly selling. This could apply somewhat to buying too, but the focus is on selling and how you can use the internet to get rid of things that you want to get rid of. It's an alternative to organizing a complicated garage sale, which can take a lot of time and effort, a lot of something you probably wouldn't want to do alone. You might need some help if you're going to do a garage sale. And I recall someone I was talking to about this idea of getting rid of things later in life. It seems like during a lot of our adult life we accumulate things, and then as we get up in our senior years, we have to start to think about more about getting rid of things. So Craigslist especially can be a great tool, I've found, to get rid of things that you want to get rid of. But you can also use Amazon or eBay. So I'm going to kind of gloss over Amazon and eBay because those are quite different from Craigslist. But just want I do want you to be aware that those are options for selling things. So let's go ahead and we'll start. So a few points here on using Amazon.com. Just the basics. You're going to create a seller account or create an Amazon account first. So if you've ever used Amazon to buy things, you already have an Amazon account. If you want to create a seller account, I became aware of this. I think most people probably don't know that they can sell things on Amazon. I'll just ask for a show of hands here. How many of you are aware that you could sell something on Amazon? I see two hands. Okay. I discovered it by accident when what I was doing is I went to Amazon to check their price on an item, but I was going to sell on Craigslist. I wasn't sure how much to ask for this item I was going to list on Craigslist, so I went to Amazon.com to see what they were selling it for. And I noticed a little link, kind of an inconspicuous link on the Amazon page that said if you have this item and you'd like to sell, you can click on this link and go into creating a seller account on Amazon and sell the product you have, which is, of course, again, an item that Amazon sells. You cannot sell something on Amazon that Amazon does not sell itself. They're just giving you a way to sell an item that is one of the thousands of products that they sell. Let me try to switch over here to I want to open up.
You have to minimize that because it won't let you switch.
Well, you can know everything, don't you?
Unfortunately, I don't.
Folks, I'm working with a different resolution screen here. At home, I've got a wide screen monitor and use a different resolution. So I'm having to adjust a little bit here to what I'm seeing on the screen on this with this small monitor hooked up to the computer.
Do I have to pay the Craigslist people anything to sign up?
No, no. Let me get to that later as I get into Craigslist. Right now, I just wanted to show. I'm going to have to put the mic down. I can see this is going to be a little awkward work with the microphone because I have to use the keyboard sometimes, and I'll have to put the mic down when I'm using the keyboard. Okay, the item that I just recently sold on Amazon.com was an old format video cassette. It's this one that I'm pointing at right now. This is a product sold on Amazon.com, so I was going to the website to see what they sell it for. And I noticed down here where I'm pointing now, the text there that says, have one to sell on Amazon. So if you were doing this at home, going through a similar procedure, and you saw that link, that text at the bottom, lower right part of that screen, and you click on the button, it's going to take you to the page where you need to sign in to your account. So once you're signed in, you see that it shows the item there that I was looking at. And then you go ahead and go through this. You follow the prompts on the screen. You're going to have to indicate what the condition of the item is from this drop-down list. You can also add some comments there in a condition note box that's provided on the page to elaborate on or make additional comments about the condition of it. The quantity, you're going to say how many of the item you have for sale, and the price. Now notice here that it shows shipping, the shipping amount or charge of $4.99. So Amazon is setting the shipping here. You cannot set the shipping, specify the shipping cost or charge yourself as the seller. Amazon is dictating what the shipping fee will be.
And they're paying it? Are they accepting the money and paying it, or?
They are going to charge you. They're going to subtract money from your sale proceeds to cover that. That's the way it works. Yeah. So that gives you, basically that's what you're going to do. That's the procedure for listing a product on Amazon.com. So there are fees. Again, they charge you. You have to pay, cover this, charging the shipping fee. You'll have to, and your actual shipping costs might vary from this. See, all they're doing is using a standard amount. It depends on the weight of the item, the size of the item. If you were selling a larger item, they would, again, apply their rate for shipping based on the size and the weight of that item. So the seller, as the seller, you have no control over what the shipping fee will be. This is different from, question back there?
Yeah, who handles the money? Is that PayPal?
No, this flows all the transactions, the money flows through Amazon.
Okay.
So when the buyer buys, the payment flows to Amazon. They capture that in your seller account, and then once a month, they'll pay you the amount due to you. So if you've sold multiple items during the month, you'll get one payment from Amazon during the month.
By check or what?
No, not by check. It's normally you have your bank account linked to your Amazon account, and the money can be transferred directly into your checking account. I don't know if receiving a physical check is an option or not. There might be some option, but I don't recall that. So the way I did it was that it'll just flow into my bank account.
So somewhere you have to write down your number and give it to them?
What number are you talking about?
Bank account.
In your online profile settings, you're gonna have to you will have to put in your account number and probably the routing number for your bank account.
Yeah, so that they have ways of accessing your account because they'll want to deposit your money into your account.
Yeah,
That's
right.
probably the only way they're going to do it.
Yeah. I don't think they want to avoid the expense of sending out paper checks, so they're, I think, going to insist that you do this electronically.
Right. And PayPal does the same thing.
Right,
When my money builds up in my account, I can transfer it over to my bank.
right. We'll talk about PayPal a little bit when I talk about eBay. But again, PayPal is not used with Amazon. They handle all the financial part of it themselves. Okay, so I'm going to jump back to my slides here.
Well, I got a question.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. If you buy something on Amazon, they'll take PayPal. But if you sell something, they won't take PayPal? Because I know I
don't
just
know.
bought some stuff on Amazon and they would take PayPal and
Okay, you may be correct. I've never used PayPal with Amazon, but that could be.
I just wondered.
Okay, have you done that yourself? Have you done that yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Buying,
I'm
Buying,
buying,
yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
not selling. So
Okay.
there's probably two different things there, why they're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, here's some additional information on Amazon. If you sell the item,
full screen, please.
okay,
Thank you.
you will receive email notification that your item is sold. There'll be, I think, as I recall, in the email notification, Amazon will tell you that they expect you to ship within 2 days. You can print a mailing label for the U.S. Post Office from your Amazon seller account, and it's a little bit cheaper that way than if you go to the post office and just go through the normal procedure of taking a package to the post office with a mailing address on it. So you'll save a little money by printing out a mailing label from your Amazon account. For this, you'll see the option in the, as I recall, in the email, these notifications that they send to you, they tell you about this option of printing a mailing label and provide a link to do that. And again, as I said, the payment for us through Amazon, they pay on a set schedule, it's a monthly schedule. And the seller can post feedback about their purchase from you. Okay. So let's go, now we'll talk a little bit about eBay. eBay has been around for a long time. I don't know, probably 15 years or more. Anybody know? I can recall.
Longer, I think.
Pardon me?
Longer, I think.
Perhaps longer, okay. Yeah. Just an interesting, something I remember here. The first time I ever came to an LCCS meeting, before I became a member, I came to a meeting just to get an idea of what the organization was about. And the topic that night was eBay, selling on eBay. I don't remember who the presenter was. I do remember that the president at that time was Jeff Eno. So that was, I think, probably more than 10 years ago when that meeting, when I went to that meeting. So selling on eBay, of course, could be a complete topic in itself for a presentation due to the complexity of it. So just some basic points here. Again, you're going to, if you've never used eBay, you'll have to create your account, then proceed with listing your item. You have basically two options. eBay started as an auction website, an online auction, and you can put your item out there under an auction, which means that people place bids on your item. So the price you get is going to vary depending on the bidding and what the highest bidder was. You also, at some point then, eBay offered another way to list items where you you sell the item at a set price. So it's not open to bidding. This is called buy it now. And again, you're putting the item on eBay's website at a set price and not to be bid on as an auction item. In eBay, to list product, you have extensive formatting options. There really is, in contrast to Amazon.com, Amazon doesn't really give you much as far as formatting. You pretty much use their template for listing a product controls how your product is going to look on Amazon.com. On eBay, you've got a lot of formatting options. You can create kind of a template of your own and save it. If you want to have the same look for your ad that you might want to use again for a future listing. The seller sets the item price and shipping charges on eBay. Again, as I said, in Amazon, you have no control over the shipping charge. With eBay, you do set the shipping charge. And just as with Amazon, if you sell, you're going to receive an email notification that your item was sold. PayPal is the main method of payment used. PayPal originated as a, I believe it was originated by eBay. It later was split off as a separate business entity and is used a lot by, not only for eBay, but for other purposes now. So, but using PayPal on eBay is a good thing because it provides financial security around your transactions. And this is quite a difference from using Craigslist, where you're dealing directly with the customers. As I said before, PayPal accounts can be used for other purposes. You can use it to send money to a relative, for example, if you have, a need to do that. You can use PayPal. You can get, if you have a PayPal account, you can get a credit card that goes with that account, and you can use that credit card to make regular purchases, just like a MasterCard or a Visa card. So PayPal is really, I think, a very good account to have if you want to maybe create an account that might give you some options that you don't have with a regular, especially if you're using eBay. And you can use it with eBay and you can use it outside of eBay.
Do they send you a card or is it?
Yes.
They send you an actual card?
Yeah.
Oh.
eBay's feedback system provides effective policing over sellers and buyers. And again, this is as we get into talking about Craigslist. Obviously, you have no feedback system with Craigslist. There's no policing. There's no oversight by the website like there is with Amazon and eBay, especially with eBay. They developed this feedback system way back from the time they started. And it seems to be an effective way of policing the sellers and buyers and giving you some protection against fraudulent or unethical sellers or buyers. Question back there?
Yeah, I just want to say something about the feedback. Feedback keeps the buyer and the seller under control because neither one wants bad feedback. Bad feedback will hurt the seller because if they get enough bad feedback, their fees go up and their items that they're listing go way back in the listings. They don't go at the top of the page anymore. And the same thing happens to the buyers. eBay makes it difficult for them to purchase. If they start getting bad feedback, then eBay just basically cuts them off at some point because of all the bad feedback they're getting. So that's why you'll see a lot of listings on eBay saying, before you leave bad feedback, please contact me and let me try to, fix the problem for you. Because no one wants bad feedback, especially sellers.
Yeah. Thanks for those comments. Yeah. Jim?
They can also hide behind good feedback. Bad feedback can hide, because we've had that a few years ago when we bought something. We found out it actually was bought. It went through another guy that had like a 50%, 60. I mean, he was really bad, but it went through a guy that had 99% good feedback. So somehow you gotta, I don't know how you can really check them all out. But you just got buyer beware when you're online. So.
Well, Richard, you think there's some kind of a way to circumvent the,
They use a different account or something, somehow.
I don't know how they could do that, but my suggestion in that case would be to contact eBay and file a claim against the seller. And most likely eBay would make it right with you, even if the seller didn't make it right, eBay would.
Yes.
9 times out of 10, that's what they'll do.
Yeah.
If you press it hard enough, they'll.
I think that's what we did. We, yeah, we was on something. We never got it.
and, I was gonna- eBay does prod you, when you sell an item, they'll prod you in an email to go ahead and submit feedback if you haven't. And you don't have to, I mean, you can, you know, if you, as a buyer, you don't absolutely have to provide feedback at all, but it's highly encouraged, though. Okay? Okay, so, Mary Frances?
Am I talking too much?
No,
On eBay,
go ahead.
on eBay, I had a wonderful experience with one particular seller, and after the third time I bought items from her, I was purchasing a pendant, a gold-plated pendant, and when it came to me, she enclosed a chain of gold-plated necklace chain. She said it wasn't the size she wanted, and I could have it for nothing. And you can bet I wrote back a glowing response on my previous sales and how everything was exactly as she described it, and the good service and her generosity. And she wrote back to me privately and said that helped her sales increased after people read that.
Yeah, that's so since you were a repeat buyer from her, she was, gave you a little gift there. You say on your third purchase? That's interesting. You have a question back there?
Yeah, I have a comment on that. And the reason I have so many comments is because I am an eBay seller and have been for a long time. Most of the time when I have a problem like that, I will do the same thing. And the reason being, because if it's my fault, I usually will pay the shipping to ship it back to me. And if it's not my fault, the buyer has to pay the shipping to return it. So if it's my fault, I'll pay the return shipping. Well, if I have to pay the return shipping, usually it's not worth it for me to do that, so I will just let them keep the item and reimburse their money. And could be that's why they did the same thing or did what she did. I don't think I've ever had the buyer ever return anything to me. And I probably reimbursed their money and let them keep the item a half a dozen times or more. And that's primarily the reason.
So you basically accepted some losses there in those cases, right?
Yeah, because it would cost me more to have them ship it back and me pay the shipping and then reimburse their money.
Right.
So that, that's probably one reason they would do it, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's good for their business because it makes the buyer happy.
But there's an example where you're really relying on the feedback system, correct, to make, you wouldn't, if you thought those people that complained about the product were lying or being unethical, that could be more likely to happen if you didn't have this feedback system.
Right, exactly. And that's why you want good feedback, because when you've got good feedback, your score goes up, and when your score goes up, your fees go down. And when your fees go down, the more money you have coming in. And your PayPal fees don't go down, but your eBay fees go down. So you try to keep your scores up, and you try to keep your reputation with PayPal, as clean as you can, because you want to pay PayPal or eBay's the least amount of fees as you can. So you try to keep your reputation with them as as clean as you can.
Yeah.
So you always want to be at the top, basically.
Yeah. I've sold things on eBay, but I'm not by any means a professional eBay seller. I have 36 feedbacks, I think, and all positive, but you probably have a much greater number.
Yeah, it's in the hundred, maybe thousands, but no one pays the same fees. It just depends on what level you're at, but everyone pays the same PayPal fees, no one pays the same eBay fees.
Yeah. Okay, was there another question or comment out here?
Well, I think I missed, is there a fee to sell on eBay?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes? No?
yeah, yes, yes.
Yes, you pay eBay and PayPal.
Yeah. You pay a listing fee, and then you also pay a selling fee, a sale fee, right?
Right, but a lot of times they'll give you those free. Each month they give you a certain amount free, and then during the month they'll send you an email or a message saying, we're going to give you so many free auction listings for the next week, or we're going to give you so many free buy it now listings for 10 days. And during that time, you can list as many as you want up to that amount, and they won't charge you a listing fee for them. But then there's a seller fee when the item sells, whatever your seller fee is, and then, you know, things like that. And then you've got your PayPal fee every time they handle money. So.
Yeah. Okay. If we ever do a presentation specifically on eBay, I know who I'm going to have.
That'd be my wife. That'd be my wife. She knows so much more than I do.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to Craigslist now. Again, of course, you're going to create an account if you haven't done so before. You're going to, when you list your item, you need to write a clear title for your ad to help draw attention to it and help, when people are doing searches. The title is important, how you word it. And then add photos to increase chances of selling. This is true, of course, on Craigslist too, eBay. I see people put ads on Craigslist with text only, where they really would be much better off to include photos. It doesn't make sense to try to describe something in words only when you can use photos to enhance your ad. And of course, after you've listed the item, you're just going to wait for responses. Sometimes your item may sell within a few days, or it could take weeks or even months. Part of this is going to depend on pricing, how you set your price. And well, that's probably the main thing, really. And sometimes you may not be able to sell something at all, and you might decide you're just going to give it away. But going through the process of listing it on eBay as an item for sale can give you that feedback. You might say, whether or not you're going to be able to get any money for it, or you might have to just give it away. Mary Frances?
Can you go back and change your price?
Yes, and that's a good point. You can start out, let's say you might want to, perhaps you're unsure about what price to set. So you start out on the high side and leave it there for a while, and if you don't get any inquiries, you probably need to reduce your price, and you might also look and see if there's anything you can do to maybe improve the description that you've written up, or for your photos, maybe add some different photos. Okay, question?
Can you price it a little high and then have a make offer option?
You can put wording in there that some people will say, set a price for OBO, or best offer.
Okay.
yes, you can, or you can say negotiable on price, words to that effect. Yeah, sometimes I see that in Craigslist ads.
What is your name?
David Duroff.
David.
I paid it for.
David, I want to ask you, I have like 300 new items. Would you suggest selling them on Craigslist?
300 new items.
They're all brand new, yeah.
Are the items that you think would be,
They're all the same. It's a jewelry organizer.
okay, her question is she has 300 new items and she would like to know if Craigslist is a good way to sell them, correct?
Right.
And they're jewelry type?
Yeah, they're jewelry organizers.
Okay. It depends on I think it depends on whether or not you think a local market is a large enough market for you to sell that volume of that type of item.
Okay.
You know, see if you want to expand your geographic area beyond, you know, the local,
Locally, yeah.
yeah, then you'd want to go with eBay probably.
eBay, okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay, that
Yeah.
answers my question.
okay. So you put your ad there out there, you're waiting for responses. If you, when you get a response in, you're going to arrange the time and place to meet and go ahead and complete the transaction. When you're listing, okay, I want to switch over to the browser here and open up the good Craigslist.org. If you're going to list the first time after you create your account, and you want to create a new ad, you look here to the right where my mouse pointer is, and it says new posting in, and then you select you have to select from this list of cities. Now, Newark, Ohio is not in that list. Neither are many other cities. This list consists mostly of larger cities, such as Columbus. Well, Zanesville is also listed. So, what I've always done, being a Pataska resident, is select Columbus from this list, and then you would click on Go. And here, on the next page, where you're going to select the type of posting, so you're going to pick the category, and you've got all you've got some categories here. Most likely what you're going to be choosing is for sale by owner. So you click that box and notice it automatically jump to the next page where you choose this is a more detailed list of categories. So you've got, starting with antiques, appliances, etc. So you look down through that list and see if your item seems to fit where it seems to fit in one of those categories. If you can't seem to find anything that seems directly or linked to your type of, your particular item, you might have to go into the, there's a category here. General for sale by owner. If you can't find any other category that your item seems to fit in, the general category would be the one to choose. So let's let me just select that here and go on to the next screen here, where you actually see where you'll be entering data for your ad. Here you have a box for phone number, extension, contact name. These are optional boxes. Posting title. This is where you put the title that of your ad, your price, and specific location. Now, since you selected, you had to select either Columbus or maybe Zanesville from that initial list of cities, and you're in, let's say, Newark or some town in Licking County. Here's where you can enter your specific location, and then you also enter the postal zip code for your location. And this then will, let me jump to my account here. I've got,
I don't know. Can you use more than one location?
yes you can. The question is, can you use more than one location? Yes, you can do that. You can select from Columbus and then go ahead and post your listing, and then you can go in again and select Zanesville and post your listing there.
Do you have to redo it each time?
Yes, you do have to redo it.
Okay.
But this could increase your chances of being found by people searching for items. So that could be a good technique to increase your chances of selling, to list under both Columbus and Zanesville. Mary Frances?
Did you think any more about that question I asked you over the phone? Did you think of what would happen if you put the police department's parking lot address and maybe met them there where all the cameras are and everything? All would be a safer location to meet?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to them about meeting places to meet. Yeah.
Then thank you, go on. Thank you and go on.
Okay. I just listed this something here that just yesterday, just yesterday. But now notice here, I listed it as Newark, and I used. Let me go back to this screen. Here on this screen, for a specific location, I said Newark, just for illustration purposes for this presentation. Instead of using Bethesda where I live, I used Newark, and I put in the 43058, one of the Newark zip codes here. And as a result of doing that, if somebody searches and finds this ad, they see Newark in parentheses here at the end of my ad title. That happened automatically. I didn't do that. I didn't put parentheses and the word Newark in my ad title. That happened as a result of plugging in Newark in the zip code on that previous screen. So the fact that when you first start this process of creating your ad, that you have to select either Columbus or, let's say, Zanesville, or possibly some other location in, among those cities that are in that drop-down box, that you still are going to be able to have your ad show your location. So I want to be clear on that. I don't want a misunderstanding that because you have that limited list of cities in that initial drop-down box, that somehow that's people seeing your ad are going to think that you're located in that city that you had to select from that drop-down box. Okay, let me jump back to my PowerPoint or my slides here. So this is what I'm saying again here. The residents of Newark and other parts of Licking County should choose Columbus or Zanesville, since they are the nearest cities in the list. And you can list them both, which might improve your chances of selling them. And as I already illustrated, you still will be able to get your location displayed by as a result of, that's the next point here. You can still you still indicate your city by entering it in your zip code in the applicable boxes. And Craigslist will then automatically add a parenthetical reference to your ad title showing your city or town. And again, we looked at the screen here where you selected for sale by owner and what type of posting is this. Okay, you select, yes, so you selected for sale by owner under that on the page that was at the top said what type of posting is this. And you click continue at the bottom of the page. Let me jump back to the website here. For sale by owner. Pick a category here. And you fill in the boxes. The click continue button is down at the bottom right of that screen. So after you fill in your title, your text, description, your price, your location, your zip code, if you have a manufacturer name and model number, you can put that in those boxes. Condition, you have a drop-down list here to select the condition. Of course, it's somewhat a matter of opinion. It gets involved in here. The boxes down here are optional: street, cross street, and city. But if you do put those in, Craigslist will generate a map after you click continue, and if you fill in more of these boxes you fill in the street, cross street, the more specific that map is that comes up. I don't think this is okay. Yeah, I can't go on to the next screen, of course, unless I fill in. Let me look. What I can do is go into the edit mode for this listing that I just created, and I'm going to, down at the bottom here, I'm going to click on Edit Post. So you see on this one here, here's my title, price, Pacific, the city of Newark, the zip code. I did not fill in these boxes here. And I did not put any manufacturer model number for this. And look to the right here, you see a map. Again, when you're at the screen, here you can put in a street address. The map that you see is going to be more Pacific. So you might want to put in a street address. And we actually listed, notice that this item says Zanesville here. So I did list this item 2 times, both under the Columbus selection, under the Zanesville selection. So I'm going to go back to the list here and look at the other one. The one that's listed under Columbus, and this one has the photos in it, 2 photos. Now I only have, I have more photos, so I'll demonstrate adding photos here. So I'm going to go back to, I hit the back button there to get to this screen. I'm going to click on the edit link there. Now I'm in edit mode. And if I scroll down to the bottom of the page, I'll see several options here, several buttons. One is edit post. That's the text part of the ad. So I'm not going to change anything there right now, so I'm going to cancel that edit mode. And run down to the bottom of the here. Okay, what I need to do is, sorry, I need to click on continue. And I'm going to go to the, select the button at the bottom that says edit images. And I want to add images because I have 2 or 3 other photos I could put in here that I would have actually put in. Normally I would have added those other photos, but I decided to wait and do this during this presentation here. So if I click on add images, it's going to open up a File Explorer window where I can browse to wherever my photos are located. And we'll add that one. I believe those are, I'll just put those all 3. I think those 3 were omitted from the initial listing. And you see that it's adding the photos now. There's a little progression bar there. On that first photo, the little red progression bars loading, so it's uploading that photo. Once that one's done, it will jump to the next one. And they're downsizing the photo as it's being uploaded and displayed by Craigslist. They're not going to leave your 4 megabyte photo file out there on their website because they don't want thousands or millions of those large photo files. So they're downsizing the file some. All right, so I'll leave that for now. That's with the photos, and I'll click on download with photos at the lower right corner of the screen there. And I see the 4 photos here, as you know, and so the person who does a search and finds your ad on Craigslist can hover over these photos and view them just as you see them here. Question back there?
Yeah, when you're making a Craigslist ad and you're putting your photos on, does Craigslist give you the option of editing your photos and enhancing your photos? Or are you just stuck with whatever you've got?
You're stuck with whatever you got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dave, are we about ready for where we're going to sell this and how to do it safely?
Yeah, yeah. Here's another here I wanted to mention free stuff. Now, I've given some things away on Craigslist, some things I've listed for free right from the outset. And there have been cases where I've first listed an item for sale and then decided, well, it wasn't selling, and so I just decided I'd give it away. So there's kind of an illogical place where you have to go to list something for free. Free stuff is actually one of the categories in for sale by owner. So if you're first time user of Craigslist and and you want to give something away and you're looking for free, you're browsing around and trying to figure out where can I list a free item. You actually go first into that list of categories of items that are going to be under general for sale by owner. And free stuff is an item listed under for sale by owner. So that seems illogical, but that's the way they've done it. John?
Well, we're used to that. We click start to shut down. Yeah, I gotta do my Windows dig.
Comments, got some tips here on writing a clear description of your item. The more detail you can provide, such as size, color, dimensions, weight, condition, age, or any other characteristics you deem relevant, can help you have a successful ad. Include photos wherever possible. And as I've demonstrated, you can upload your photos on your computer. But you can also post a link to a photo on a photo hosting website such as Photobucket.com. Okay, here now we're getting to the question that was just asked here, I believe. Some safety tips. First, Craigslist has some good tips on the website. And here again, why talk about safety? Because with Craigslist, you're dealing directly with the buyer. So you have you're not shipping, you're dealing directly with the buyer, you're exchanging money directly with the person that's buying. So you have some issues to be concerned about that you don't have if you're selling on a major website like Amazon or eBay. So here we have a list here. When meeting someone for the first time, insist on a public meeting place like a cafe, bank, or shopping center. Do not meet in a secluded place or invite strangers into your home. Let's go back for a minute on the first item there, the public meeting places. I've met people at McDonald's, I saw one, I met one person right out here in the parking lot, right here. On another item, I met them in the parking lot at the old Zerger Hall location. I've met people, I've been going into Columbus a lot to help my son with a rental property he has there, so I've met two or three people at a Turkey Hill place and gas station in Columbus. So there's just, it could be any public place that where you have generally have some people around and you have some lighting, so you're not meeting someone in a secluded, dark area. Any comments on that?
Should you take someone with you?
Taking someone, she said, should you take someone with you? That's always a good if you have a friend, someone you want to take with you, that's a good idea.
I have a comment.
Yes.
If you're selling an expensive item like a laptop or an expensive smartphone or something like that, I would suggest that maybe you meet in the lobby of the police department or something like that, because people have been killed meeting on Craigslist. So I wouldn't take any chances. Personally, I don't like Craigslist. It doesn't mean I wouldn't use it. I have used it. But especially if I was a female, I would be very, very cautious. I would take a male friend with me or a husband or something. I just don't think it's safe. There's better ways. eBay, in fact, has a feature like Craigslist. It's called pickup only, and you can specify pickup only within a certain amount of miles. It's not a whole lot different, but you have to be careful either way if you use Craigslist or that feature. But just be careful. That's all I can say. Just be careful. Just things happen.
Jim?
Yeah, over in Columbus, I noticed that some of the smaller police departments have a designated area out in their parking lot for eBay or for Craigslist rendezvous, to get together and so forth. And what you do is you call the dispatch or whatever in the police department and tell them that you're going to meet somebody at 4 o'clock out in the parking lot for a Craigslist, and they have cameras out there and they'll be watching you. So
Well, that's a great idea. Yeah.
and I think more police departments are going to offer that.
Yeah.
I don't know which police department, I don't know, Prairie Township, I don't know, what police department over in Columbus or whatever, but I think that, there's going to be more of them do that.
Yeah, so anybody who's selling, you call your police department and see if they have that kind of service available and take advantage of it. And,
Yes.
What happens when they don't show up, or does that ever happen?
Yes, sometimes no shows, that can happen. It's,
Can people pull pranks on you?
yeah,
Do they prepay or do they pay you at the time they pick up the item?
they pay you at the time they pick up the item, yeah. Let me, just, I actually have a slide on that. Okay. So, some of these, okay, we've kind of covered some of these points here in our discussion. Consider having a friend accompany you. Trust your instincts. So we've kind of covered these points here in our discussion.
Hey, Dave,
Yes.
is there a cost for Craigslist?
No.
No cost, okay.
For personal use.
Okay.
Business users do have a cost. Okay. So that's where they make their money from business. Businesses use Craigslist to get rid of stuff, and they do have to pay fees.
Okay. We are going to have to need to wrap this up, so.
Yeah. Okay. Here's my comments. I have some of my own comments about this. If you must meet at your house, move your item outside before moving, if possible. Or, in a few cases, I have an item just inside my front door. I have to try to limit. I don't want the person coming in, all the way into the living room or something. So I might have an item right near the front door. Or in some cases, if you have a garage, the door faces the street or your neighbors, you can have your item in the garage near the door, right up near the door, and then open the door when the buyer comes and meet there. I've done that with some items.
Can I make a comment real quick?
Yes.
The lady up front said she had a bunch of jewelry stuff. Maybe this will help her in her decision. I went to a big yard sale last year, or maybe the year before, and I purchased what I thought was a vintage drink jug for a couple of bucks. And I thought, well, I'm going to pick that up because it might be worth something. And I went home and I did some research. I always research eBay when I am not sure what the value of something is. And if it's on eBay, see what people are selling it for. And I found out that this drink jug that I picked up for a couple of bucks was selling for 80, 90 bucks. So I listed it for $85. And it was only listed for a couple of days, and someone in California bought it. And they paid $30, $35, something like that, to have it shipped to them. They wanted it shipped quickly. I guess what I'm saying is, if you list on Craigslist, you may not get the value out of it that you might get if you list it on eBay or Amazon. Because you're only going to get the local people, and if you list on eBay, you're going to get people nationwide or even worldwide, depending on what you choose. Same thing with Amazon. And if you research and see what this item might be selling for on these sites, then you can price it accordingly. And you might get top dollar by selling on those sites. So try looking into it.
Yeah. Okay, good point.
I'm in the wrong class.
I think a person can actually kind of compare Craigslist and eBay in some situations, and sometimes you're going to be a lot better off financially to use eBay to get a wider.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're buying something, you can get good deals on Craigslist. That's for darn sure.
Yeah. Unless
on Thought Road.
Okay, here's my comments. Human experience, no-shows, you just, okay. Yes, that can happen. It's happened to me a few times. I don't know that there's much you can do about it. There's really nothing you can do about it. It's just something, but it's something you want to consider where sometimes you will have people ask you to meet them halfway, let's say. You might be concerned or cautious about doing that because if you drive part way to meet them and then they don't show up, you wasted your time and some money. Pranksters, another point, the question that came up here. In one case, I believe I encountered a prankster. I was asked to go to a certain location to meet the person. I went there and found that the address, the exact address was non-existent. And I tried to call the person later and I got no answer. So that was probably, in my view, probably a prank. That only happened one time, and I probably sold 75 items, I would guess, on the Craigslist. So it's not very likely to happen, but it could. Request to meet halfway. Again, you're going to have to use your judgment there and try to get a feel for whether or not you can trust the person, because whether or not they might be a no-show or playing a prank on you, it's a possibility. I listed one item for free, and I had a call from an inquiry from a person who lived over in the Dublin area who wanted me to meet them halfway for a free item. So, obviously, I responded and said, well, for a free item, I can't justify driving out to meet you somewhere. Bickering over price is something that obviously that can take place. I don't mind it as long as it happens through email or maybe by phone before I meet the person. I did get kind of annoyed or disappointed when the person comes out to meet, and we do meet, and then they're trying to go down in price. But I've had that happen, and sometimes I've accepted a reduction in price. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe get mentally prepared, thinking, well, if the person comes out here and asks me to sell for less than what we supposedly are going to have agreed on, are you going to go ahead and accept it, or how far down would you be willing to come? Because if you don't accept, then you still have your item and you haven't sold it yet, so that's something to consider ahead of time.
That's when you bring your pit bull out the car.
Yeah. Okay, so we're probably running out of time here. Any other last minute questions? All right, well, thanks, and we'll go ahead and have our drawing.